Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to start with the problem statement. Again, we're just going to read the problem statement in this video and understand what it is that we have to do and not build anything. Just read it, condense it, first 5 minutes, understand what's going on. So let's begin, right? Problem statement. Build a three-statement LBO model on a fictitious company ABC. Okay, so the company is not real. Assume 100% buyout and an on-book transaction. So LBOs can typically happen on-book or off-book. On-book means the debt and the equity that is used to buy this company is typically raised in a company, and then you acquire this company and then you merge both. And then the debt comes onto the book, then you can use the cash flows of the company to pay down the debt and the interest. Off-book is typically through a holdco structure wherein the debt will not be on the books of the company, of the target company, and typically you will take out dividends from the target company and use that to pay back the interest and the principal repayments, and that will happen at the holdco level, right? So in this case, we're going to do it on book. Okay. Next point, assume that the buyout will be funded through equity and debt of two types, lien 1, lien 2. Okay. Historical financial statements have been provided in the tab financial statements. So let's go here. Okay, so for a fictitious company ABC, they've given us the P&L, they've given us historical P&L assumptions. They have given us the balance sheet, some of the balance sheet assumptions, and they've not given us cash flow. That's fine. We're going to build the cash flow. Let's go back. And then these are some of, just change this to, these are some of the key assumptions. So year of acquisition 2020. Okay, year of exit, we will exit this investment in 2025. Entry acquisition multiple is 10 times LTM EBITDA. So that will be nothing but 10 times of FY20 EBITDA, which will be this, right? Okay. Exit multiple 10x of EBITDA, that will be in FY25. USD INR rate of 2020 75. Assume entry and exit proceeds in USD and annual INR depreciation of 4%. So assume that the 75% depreciates every year by 4%. Because of that, this rate will not be 75 when we exit in 2025, right? It will be 75 into 1 plus 4 raised to 5. If you will do that, minimum cash of 10 crores, that'll come in the debt schedule, cash interest rate of 2%, which means if you have cash in the company, it'll earn a rate of return of 2%. LIBOR is the London interbank exchange rate, right? Typically the rate, it's almost like a benchmark rate used to benchmark the rate of interest that I'm going to charge on lending that happens globally. So 0.4 interest rate on revolver is LIBOR plus 5. So it'll be 5 plus 0.4, it should be 5.4. That's fine. Next, assume the LBO will be financed by equity and two tranches of debt, lien 1, lien 2. Okay, so lien 1, lien 2 means nothing but they're just like two types of debt instruments. That's it, nothing else, right? So it's like saying, suppose I need to buy a car, right? To buy the car for say 10 lakhs. I can raise 5 lakhs of debt from one bank, 5 lakhs of debt from another bank, right? So assume like bank 1 is lien 1, bank 2 is lien 2, right? Nothing fancy. It's just debt, but slightly different in terms of maybe the term. So let's look at that, right? So multiple of EBITDA, LTM and entry. Okay, so out of the 10 turns that we will pay of EBITDA, 4 turns is going to come from this. So if what that means is if we paid say 10 lakhs for the car, right? 4 lakhs would come from this line of credit, and annual mandatory amortization 1%, which means that every year I'm going to have to pay back 1% of the principal balance, but at the end of 5 years, I'm going to have to pay it all back, right? When I sell the company. Interest rate on lien 1, LIBOR plus 5, cash sweep of 50%. So what does cash sweep mean, right? So what it essentially means is once whatever excess cash that I have in the business, after I account for everything, right? Like CFO plus CFI, you take free cash flow to the firm, then free cash flow to equity, pay down all debt, interest, You raise equity, you pay down dividends. After everything, whatever cash that I have left, 50% of that cash is going to be used to pay back the principal of this tranche of debt. That's all that it means, nothing else. And we will cover this in the debt schedule, so don't worry about it. Line 2, what are the terms? Okay, the terms are different, but essentially it means the same thing, right? So this is 0.5 terms. So out of the 10 lakhs, almost 50,000 bucks is being paid for using this line of credit. 5 years, annual mandatory amount 1%, interest rate BN1, L plus 7, cash sweep of 50. So whatever excess cash is there in the business, 50% will go to paying down whatever balance of this tranche of debt is left. And the remaining 50 will go down to paying this tranche of debt each year. So next, key operating assumptions. So they've told us revenue segment. So it looks like the way we will break down revenues, there'll be 4 divisions, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't know anything about them, and that's fine because they've given us the growth rate. So we don't even need to ask questions, right? That's not the purpose of this case. The purpose of this case is to illustrate how to build an LBO model. Next thing, cost line items. They've told us what to assume over the next 5 years, right? From FY 21 to 25. So again, we don't really have to think and just build the P&L seamlessly. Balance sheet, working capital, they've given us days. CapEx plus acquisition of intangibles, they've given us an amount in INR crores, and depreciation as a percentage of beginning net block is 10%. So I think the way we're going to build this model is we don't really have to think about the business, because that's, again, I'm trying to emphasize over here, the goal of this course was not to teach you about whether a 10% growth rate for, say, division 1 makes sense, right? Because you don't even know what division 1 is. It is to say, hey, if we had this business model, how do we build an LBO on top of it? That being said, we covered the problem statement in this video. In the next video, we are going to go to the key LBO assumptions and just fill them in and then try to build the pro forma balance sheet. So see you guys in that video.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you found it useful and also got a few actionable insights.
Check out our website and join the mailing list for regular content. Do spread the word and share it with anyone else you think might find this useful.